This is another battle in round 1 of the blue tournament between the Armenian king commanding Iceni, quite like that pick, and Highamacus commanding the Boii. So, very risky pick for the Armenian king against the Boii, but with the sword max that is in effect, not the worst pick in the world. He did pick a winter map, which is going to help Iceni significantly. 5 heavy horse for Highamacus, 2 Oathsworn, 6 sword followers, a front line of 4 levy freemen. Super dangerous units. We have 5 levy freemen for Iceni, so Iceni is going to win just by having more levy freemen. Chosen sword band, heroic nobles, chosen sword band. So 2 heroics, yeah, 2 heroics, 3 heroics, 6 chosen swords. So more elites for Iceni. Both of them are moving up slowly, which is a good idea on a snow map. Then we also have 5 veteran riders, so these builds are very similar, but with some important differences. The heavy horse beats the veteran riders. The Oathsworn beat the heroic nobles, and the sword followers beat the chosen. Now, something interesting to note about the mid-tier swords of Iceni is that they are deceptively powerful. They have been given a chevron, so it's going to increase their melee attack by a bit, but they have 60 health and they are very heavy. So they are going to do very well on the charge against lesser infantry. Against sword followers they are going to lose, but against units like Celtic warriors and other infantry units, they're actually very tanky, very good, because they are very heavy and because of the extra health that they enjoy. So it's going to be interesting to see if the resistance to cold that Iceni has plays a part in the long game here. Because knowing Armenian king, he's going to engage very safely, and he needs to against this Boii army. Now he's just reorganizing his lines a bit, getting his 2 heroic nobles in the center. The heroic noble that is here should be able to do well against these sword followers. So it looks like he wants 2 heroics in the center against that Oathsworn, and wants to win in the center, win on the flanks, and then start pouring in. He does have the levy freeman advantage in this battle, so that can never be underestimated. And the levy freeman of Iceni and of the Boii, basically the same unit. Here we have some heavy horse moving up towards the levy freeman, but they thought better of it. Levy freeman here getting a nice volley into the heavy horse, but not really effective for them. They did manage to do some damage. Just levy freemen crashing into each other all across the line. The heavy horse did not pull out in time here. Well, it looks like they did actually, because the follow-up isn't coming in time. So nicely done by Highamacus in charging in and taking care of some of the levy freemen. Now here in the front line, these levy freemen are being peppered by javelins from all sides. So, doing their job, dying, killing each other. Veteran riders here are not going to get the charge. These veteran riders are getting a nice charge into the flanks of the levy freemen and the sword followers, turning around and charging into the rear of the heavy horse. But this isn't a great engagement for the veteran riders, because they got attacked in the rear. Although there is levy freeman support here, it's not a great engagement, and you can see the levy freeman of Armenian king just routing off the field. And this engagement, decent enough for Armenian king because he has his levy freeman in there, but the veteran riders are going to take a spanking from the heavy horse, especially on the charge. Here we have heroic nobles going in against sword followers. They should be able to do well there. Just so many veteran riders wavering for Armenian king. He's sending in his chosen swords, but they're getting attacked in the rear by the sword followers. So this is a case where you see the Iceni units just being inferior to the... well, Highamacus did get the better engagements, to be fair. But overall, the chosen sword band is not going to do great against the sword followers. So now he has to send in 3 chosen swords against 2 sword followers, which is not a good trade at all. Here we have the heroic nobles. They're going to do well against Oathsworn on the charge because they are a strategist, so he's going to be able to use Headhunt and Battle Rhythm presumably, and here it goes. Still, the heroic nobles are getting the worst of this engagement. It starts to even out a bit now because of the abilities popped by the heroic nobles, so they are indeed doing well against the Oathsworn. Armenian King disengaging over here with his heavy horse. Smart move, leaving his levy freeman in the fight to do some more damage to the heavy horse. He really needs to get his rear charges off. The heavy horse is active, so are the veteran riders. Highamacus was very smart in being economical with his movements, not moving his units unnecessarily. Levy freeman doing damage to the heavy horse, but the heavy horse have gotten so many kills. Still pulling out the sword followers. Might have been a slight mistake here, because now the chosen swords are going to do well against these levy freemen. Rear charging coming here against the sword followers. The Oathsworn are getting spanked by this heroic noble because of the abilities. It's very tired, so I don't know why second wind hasn't been used yet for Armenian King. Maybe a slight miss micro there. So the chosen swords not doing great against the sword followers. It's sort of even, but there are so many Boii units, so many heavy horse units coming in. Nice rear charge here against the sword followers, but these two chosen swords are taking way too long to kill this sword follower, and now the heavy horse comes in. It's going to trap these veteran riders. The veteran riders are going to get attacked in the rear. They're going to die. On the flanks though, Iceni is doing a bit better on the flanks. But there are Oathsworn moving around here and managing to get into the chosen swordbound from the flanks. Still, second wind is popped now for the general of the heroic noble general of Armenian King, but he's taking so much damage from that Oathsworn engagement. But now things are sort of starting to turn around a bit for Iceni, but I am worried about this Oathsworn general being at full strength and several sword followers being super problematic for Armenian King to deal with here. But there are several units wavering here, and if this unit gets a rear charge, that might actually be it for these units, and it looks like they are actually going to start wavering and routing, so very nice use of his veteran riders here. Although they're not getting many kills, they are going to be able to break several units. But this Oathsworn is going to be a problem, and this is a huge problem. Very nicely done here by Highamacus in rear charging the heroic nobles with the sword followers. Well, if the heroic noble dies now, then that's going to be it for Iceni, I think. Might see a chain route there, because they have such low morale. The chosen swords at 55 morale, and the sword followers at a massive 65 morale. So this unit of chosen swords is losing to the Oathsworn, of course. Pulling out the chosen swords here, presumably to get some rear charges, but the heavy horse are just doing bloody work here against the veteran riders and against the heroic nobles. So the heroic nobles have been used very well by Armenian King, but this is just an instance of him having the weaker units. Iceni is a lot weaker than the Boii, even on this map. Nicely done by Highamacus in rear charging the general of Armenian King, and that's it. That's it. The Iceni army is going to get wiped off the field momentarily. Good game, well played to both players. Picking Iceni as the first pick, super risky. Just look at how the heroic nobles do well here, but they don't do as well as they need to compared to the units like the sword followers, and the heavy horse just outclass the veteran riders. The veteran riders are heavy as well, but they just don't have the armor or the punching power or staying power of the heavy horse. So although I think Armenian King used his build reasonably well here, going up against the Boii with Iceni is just going to be super hard. And I would have liked to see something creative from Armenian King, like Britain Slingers, or maybe even a chariot or a scare unit. A scare unit could have worked great in his center together with his heroic nobles. Still, a super hard battle for Iceni. Congratulations to Highamacus for gambling on taking one of the strongest factions early in the tournament. He won't be able to use it again though, but he did win against Armenian King, so a very dangerous player is out of the tournament. Strength and honor.